everybody. So it is good to see all of you once again here in the Floativerse. God, my hair is getting bad, isn't it? It's not so much that it's getting long as much as it is that I am. Hold on, there we go. It's not so much that my hair is getting long, is that in a very funny story, my hair gel was confiscated by the TSA last week, and I just haven't gotten my lazy butt around to buying anymore. So now the problem is it's going all over the place. Hi, everybody. Good to see you all. Tonight, I don't mean to be rude. I'm not going to be doing a lot of shout outs and all that fun stuff like I normally do. Because tonight we have some important stuff to go over, and this video is actually going to get mixed down and used as a permanent reference tool for people regarding the convention. So I do apologize in advance tonight if I'm not interacting with everyone as much as I normally do. I apologize if I'm not, being as friendly and responding to everybody's comments and shout outs and hellos and the whole bit. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm trying to keep it moving. We have a lot to talk about tonight, and apparently a lot of very confused people. So it is my intention this evening to address some of the issues and concerns that people seem to be having in reference to the hotel. Okay, so first of all, yes, it is absolutely true. If you are not fully paid for Float 2022, you cannot reserve a room yet. The reason for this is pretty simple. For those of you that were involved with our convention in 2020, you know darn well that the block was filled months in advance. I mean, like literally like 6 to 8 months before the convention even took place. And at least 30 to 40% of the people that had blocked off rooms in the hotel never came to Float. And unfortunately, what they would do is they would cancel their rooms literally like 3 days before the convention. And the problem is if we lose the block 30 days before the convention. So if you are not, if you're not reserved in the block 30 days prior, you can't get a blocked room. You can't get the discount rate. So unfortunately, what was happening is people were scooping up these rooms, then they would cancel the last second, and then the entire, like a big chunk of the block is completely gone. There's been quite a few people that are very upset about this. There's been quite a few people that are currently on the payment plan who've been to a couple of the past conventions. They're like, this isn't fair. I should be able to book a room. I've got a history with the convention. I understand that, but the line has to be drawn somewhere. And the problem is if we draw it with you, or if we don't draw it here, then where do we draw it? It becomes very, very complicated. This is the easiest solution, and it's the fairest solution. Okay, now the next question that I am getting repeatedly, like myself and Aphrodite are getting constantly, when should I come to Float? When should I book my hotel room? I don't mean to be rude to you. I really don't, but I want to give you a very fair comparison. What do you say when customers call you and say, how much are your balloons? Your answer is, it depends, right? When should I come to Float? It depends. It depends on what it is you're looking to do. So in the emails, if you are fully paid for Float 2022, you got 2 emails now. One of them said Float Notes number 1, one of them said Float Notes number 2. And in those emails, this graphic exists, which says Float Fun, and then directly underneath it, it says either Float schedule is here or when should I arrive? This is where the link is. If you look at the bottom here, you've got the circle, click here for the current activity schedule. If you go to the Float website and go to the schedule page, believe it or not, the Float schedule for 2022 is there, and it's available for you to review. So in other words, if you want to come to Float, you're going to need to decide when it is that you actually want to come based upon what it is you want to attend and do, okay? So this makes a big difference. There's a lot of different things that are going on that you just, there's a lot of things happening, and I can't tell you this answer. If because in the past we've done this, people are like, why didn't you tell me to come sooner? I missed this. Or why did you have me come so early? I didn't want to do all this. Right? So that's what, so please keep that in mind. You need to review the schedule. You need to decide what it is that you want to do and then take it from there. Okay. Now, of course, if you have questions about what the schedule pertains to and everything else, of course, we can help you with that. But at the end of the day, that's what we're talking about. Okay. All right. So the next question on my agenda here is, I need a code. What's the code that I need to What is the code that I need in order for me to get my discounted room rate? Guys, there is no code needed. Let me show you. So in the same emails that you have received now a couple of times, Float 1 and Float 2, Float Notes 1, Float Notes 2, you will receive, there's an image there that says our new home, reserve your room now. And then at the bottom, it says, click this link to reserve your room at the Westin Hotel. This is how you book your room. There's nothing in here about a code. You don't need a code. You just need this link. This link will give you access to the discounted rate that you need in order to register your room for Float. This link is not to be shared with other people. If you are sharing this link to people that are not registered for Float, you are not doing our community a service. In fact, you are doing it a great disservice because of the exact same problems that I mentioned first time around, okay? So please do not pass the link around to other people that are not supposed to be using it. All right. But that's how you register. You don't need a code. You just need the link that's in the email. And if you're a sponsor, you got an email a couple weeks ago and that link is in there in the same format, same image, same everything. Okay. Here's the next thing that seems to be really driving some people kind of crazy. And again, it's because people just simply aren't reading. So let me share my screen again with everybody so that you can take a look and see what I'm talking about. Okay, here we go once again. So what we have here is a comparison of two different screenshots. The top screenshot is the actual website of the Westin Lombard Hotel as it appears, that pops up in front of you when you get logged in, okay? When you use the link, you click here. These are the default dates that appear. They say Thursday, January 20th through Saturday, January 29th. The problem is a large number of people seem to be under the impression that these are the dates of the convention. This is not a correct statement. These are the dates of the discounted room rates that are available. If you look at the screenshot from Float, the banner headline shows you the actual dates of the convention. That's what's going on right now. So if you look at the two dates, the dates are completely different. The dates of the convention are January 23rd through January 27th. Unless you are planning to stay longer in Chicago, you do not need to reserve a room on the night of the 27th or the 28th or the 29th. I guarantee you 30-something people just realized, oh crap, I have booked too many nights. And they're going to start canceling those rooms because I'm looking at my room block for the 27th and the 28th is completely full because we only booked a handful of rooms. We didn't need a lot of rooms. But everybody's panicking and thinking, oh God, the convention ends on the 29th. No, if you look at the website and you look at the schedule and you look at the stuff that I've been trying to send you to, you'll realize the dates do not correspond. So what you need to do is you need to check the schedule and figure out what it is that you want to do and when you want to do it, and then book the room reservation, okay? Now we're gonna get to the big one. Let's say you've typed in your dates, okay, for the convention that you wanna go to, and this window pops up. Sorry, there are no rooms remaining in the block for a particular night. Here's the problem. 99% of you stop reading right there. Sorry, there are no rooms remaining in the group block. What you need to be reading is this line right here, for a particular night. What this means is, it means that at least one of the nights that you've chosen is full. This is a huge problem, I think, with the Marriott system. The Marriott system kicks out the entire reservation if only one night is full. So what you have to do is go back in and play with the dates, okay? 99 times out of 100 right now, It's because you're trying to book one of the end dates. So if you're trying right now simply to book a reservation for the 23rd through the 27th, you'll have no problem whatsoever, at least right now. There's still plenty of rooms the 23rd through the 27th, which is the actual date of the convention. I am currently in the process of signing a contract right now that will add more rooms to the Friday night and the Saturday night block, but that hasn't processed yet. So what you need to do right now is book the reservation for whatever dates you can, okay? 23rd through the 27th is a guarantee right now. Book those dates, get that reservation made. Then what you need to do is every once in a while, check back in and see if you can add the other nights you were looking to add, okay? That's all I can tell you right now. So here's the next question. Steve, when are you going to expand the block? I'm not. The room block is full, or the room block is booked, okay? We have reserved more rooms at this convention hotel than we have ever reserved in the history of Float. We're not going to be adding more nights on during the bulk of the convention. And I'm going to explain why. With one simple word, attrition. When Float has a convention like this, and I want to get a discounted room rate for the attendees, the hotel is willing to do that, but I have to personally commit financially to X amount of rooms. So let's say that I go into the block and I create a block, right? And every night I have to reserve X amount of rooms. Friday night, Saturday night, Saturday night might be 300 rooms or 200 rooms or 250 rooms, whatever. Sunday nights, 250 rooms. Monday nights, 250 rooms, whatever, boom, 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 right? And you have to do the entire duration. 80% of that number is attrition. That is the magic number that the hotel has to have, okay? So I can request 1,000 room nights, which right now we're actually a lot more than that. But let's say I request 1,000 room nights. Attrition means that you and me combined, between the people I'm paying for and you guys booking your rooms, that at least 800 of those room nights are going to be bought and paid for, okay? That's what it means. That's what attrition is. As far as the hotel's concerned, as long as that 800 number is hit, it doesn't matter if we hit the other 200. They're okay with that. That's fluff. They're okay with that because they've got to have that minimum number. That minimum number is attrition, all right? So you can all understand that. I'm sure you get it. Here's the problem. If we don't hit attrition, then the convention is financially responsible for whatever rooms are below that. So if for some reason we only sell 700 room nights, or let's say only 700 room nights are booked out of 1,000, attrition is 800. So now there's 100 rooms that are missing. I will receive a bill for 100 rooms at a cost of $114 per room plus 11% tax. So it boils down to about $125 to $130 per room times 100. That Float, AKA Steve Jones, has to absorb, okay, as a loss. Now do you understand, in part, why I'm not super excited about adding more rooms to the block? But there's another reason why I don't want to add more rooms to the block, and there's another reason why I'm not going to add more rooms to the block. Because this happens every convention also. Almost every hotel that we've been to has told us that we are an anomaly, okay? We are Neo. Basically, what's unique about our event is people book now. The fact that our room block is so full already, or not full, but filling up very fast, and it's still 10 months away, is not the norm for most conventions. Most conventions, it's a last minute, holy crap, the discount ends in 5 days, and they're booking the rooms. So the hotels love us because you guys book way early, okay? But here's the problem. Susie is over here. Susie booked a room for 7 nights, okay? Josie's over here. She booked a room for 7 nights. Great, I've got a room at Float. Great, I've got a room at Float. You didn't know there was a puppet show in this, did you? Josie decides, I'd like a roommate for Float to help me save money. And then, this is Susie, sorry. Then Josie decides, I'd like to save some money at Float. I think I'm going to get a roommate. So they go out. Hey, you want a roommate? I want a roommate. I want a roommate too. And yes, it's stupid. And what do? One of these individuals cancels the room. Now they're together in one room, but what's now happened is an entire room of 7 nights has just opened up. Now multiply this by like 25% of our existing block. That's what happens, okay? So this is why I'm not going to expand the block now, because I know this is coming. Don't get me wrong, with COVID, it's not going to happen as much, I don't think. I tend to think that because of COVID and because of the uncertainty still of some of it, I think a lot of people that would normally have no problem getting a roommate are going to be like, yeah, I think this year maybe I will have my own room and the cost isn't that bad, so maybe I'll do it myself, and that's fine. And I get it. That's perfectly fine, and it makes perfect sense. But this is still a thing, and it's going to happen. There's already people asking for roommates. So please understand that this is why we're not going to add more rooms to the block right now, because this happens. And the truth is, I don't know that I'm going to do it at all. Because again, I already know that there's 50 rooms over here that are going to get dropped like a hot potato the moment they realize, wait a minute, the convention's over on the 27th. Why am I staying through the 29th? And those are all gone. So attrition, by the way, is not based on every single day. It's based on the entire event. So if I have a day over here with it's like 30 missing here and 15 missing here or whatever, it's not the end of the world as long as the bulk of it's here. Okay. But this is why I need you guys to understand. I get people calling me up so angry. You got to get me the discounted rate. No, I don't mean to be a jerk, but I really don't. And this is why, because these problems happen all the time. I'll give you another really good example. Last year at 2020, like I said, the block filled up faster than ever. Okay, the block was completely sold out by June, as in completely obliterated full. And so we took it upon ourselves to start a waiting list, and we started managing people, getting them into rooms. And at one point, we had about 40-something people on the waiting list to get a room. Do you know how many of those people on the list actually ended up getting a room with us? 10. 10 of those individuals who were on the waiting list to get a room actually ended up booking a room. The other 30 people found roommates, found a deal at another hotel, did whatever they wanted to do, found somebody local to stay with. You understand now why we're probably not going to be bumping up the block, because it just doesn't work out. The last question that I have to address, which has been coming in recently, is what about Thursday the 20th? A lot of people are asking about Thursday the 20th because, as you know, the certified balloon professional testing will be taking place on that Friday, and a lot of people want to get in on Thursday. As of right now, we're not expanding the block. So a lot of people are like, dude, I can't get a discount room that night. You're right, but that's temporary. What we're going to do is we're going to speak to the hotel about expanding that block later in the year, specifically for those delegates that are going to be taking the Certified Balloon Professionals exam, okay? Because again, I'm not prepared to guesstimate right now that I need, if if only 10 people sign up for this exam, I don't need 50 rooms, right? I don't need to take a 20% hit. Actually, that would be an 80% hit. I don't need to take an 80% hit on Thursday, right? So what we're going to do is find out how many people are actually going to be taking the exam, and then we'll get those people probably manually entered in, as long as they have a reservation for the other nights that are already in the convention. So that's what's happening with Thursday. Okay. So as of right now, the only other question that we've had is, what about the access to the concierge lounge? That's what they call it at this hotel. It's the concierge lounge. If you are a member of the Marriott's Rewards program, and if you qualify, I think you're at least silver status. I think silver status or higher, then you get access. You'll get access regardless of whether or not you're on the lounge floor or not. You can request to be on that floor. Yes, you can. If you are an eligible member, you cannot buy into it. I don't believe. I think they made that. I think that they said you can't really buy into it, but they'll take existing people. So if you are already a member of the Marriott Reward Program and at least silver level, I believe, you'll already be given access to the concierge lounge and you can go in. Unfortunately, the concierge lounge at the new hotel is not quite as nice as the one in St. Louis. This is one element where St. Louis had the upper hand on the new hotel. The concierge lounge was much nicer, St. Louis. So with that being said, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time and your energy. I will see you all Sunday night on the regular version of Step Chat. And until then, chat soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.